me try this again.
Hold on.
I only got about half set up here, apparently. Alright, that should be good for now. Alright, there we go. Yep. I did half my job. Apparently I didn't do the rest. Thank you. It's good music though. Okay. Sometimes I assume that I'm so far figured out, but I'm not. Sorry if that was making noise. Alright. That's better. We were very busy with emojis. Yes, we're back with the Crackle stream. The only thing I can see as a problem with like the map choice that I have is everything's already pre-lit. So like here, if I want to have it be darker, I have to decrease the tone map scale, which is going to be like that. I could dim it down to. The problem with tone map though is that tone map is super, I want to say dangerous to play with, but probably not the right word. Because if you it's like adding a black filter over the screen, and if you go to try to add certain things, it won't work. Because it, like if you want to add like a bright light spot, it's not going to work. And actually I should probably test that based on this, because you can only get so bright if you're putting a black filter over something, even if you make it as bright as you possibly can. So this is a good way to test it. Okay, so that still seems bright. Alright. Because if I go too low with my tone map scale, you're going to get like this, where now this isn't actually white anymore, it's a gray, and it doesn't feel bright. It doesn't feel like it's exploding with light like it should. So that's why it's going to be dangerous. But this still is white-ish. It would normally be, I think, like this. Like that. So that's the difference. But I will say that that dark is okay. Oh, well, hello and thank you. You can come in out, that's fine. Thanks for stopping by for the however much time. Alright, so I can get rid of this. Alright, that means that I need to copy paste that tone map to every other shot, but I'll deal with that later. Alright, so I need some kind of a rim light, which actually should make everything else feel darker. I'm trying to decide if I want to remove her lighting or not. Because right now she's balanced with the ground. And I really wish that I could just make zero lighting in this map. But, alas. I'm probably not going to care enough. That involves putting way too much work into this. Oh, the Full Metal Pony? Yeah, I like that one. That was a lot of fun to make. super challenging. But challenging means you learn a lot, and I learned a lot from making that one. Actually, I'm not gonna go blue. I'll go blue-ish, but not by much. It's not about creating a bright room. I just want to create a little bit of an edge on the person, on the character. So it's a little too little, that should work. So I'm going to do this one as character rim. So then, I mean, you want the butt to shine. I can make it shine. We can be like that. Is that good? Glowing bit. I can imply that light's coming from above, but I have a feeling you're not going to really be able to see it. Actually, I kind of like it like that. I think I'm going to remove the shadow, though. Oops. Yeah, if I remove the shadow, it lights the tail a little bit. And what I wish I could do is darken the foot where the feet are, but I can like put a what do you call that, vignette on it later. So all right, I'm not worried about animating right now, though I'll probably add a slight wind to that. But it does give me an idea, and when I go into post, I can play around with the contrast or whatever to make it darker and whatever. And I think, where's the skybox? Sky card here. I'm gonna have the sky card actually move slightly. And when I go to render this too, if I remember, I will remove that black filter or how I have the black come in. I can put that fade in. I'd rather have a render where I can play with it however I wish. Okay. Let's see, does that work? Oh, I'm going the other way. Oops. Okay, yeah, that looks good. It just creates a little extra element to the background moving like it's further away than it is, or moving faster than it is. Yeah, if you're talking about SFM and not like Destiny, which was brought over earlier, yeah, this is free. I mean, this model's free. This map I'm in is free. Those clouds are free. The skybox is free. Okay. Oh, I need to get my tone map scale. I don't know if this will work or not. Let's see if it does. No, it won't. Oh! Maybe? No, it'll just decrease it down. Close enough. Okay, I don't need Crackle. I don't need the Cloud Cyclone here. I just have Lyra. And that's gonna be... I have this habit of, from SFM, where if I want to add a group, I just right-click it, say group selected, and I'm a group. But I also have a problem where if I'm running on Windows, I try clicking a file and adding a folder because of that. And so now I'm getting confused going back and forth. I go to right-click it, I'm like, can I do that? No, I don't know if I can. My brain... Copy the light elements from here. So this is rim. I probably want to have... Well, actually, that looks pretty good like that. Just something to give it a little extra. Maybe then I don't know if I'd call it rim, but whatever. It's enough for me. So I like the light right here, but it's really not popping up on her face. And that's where I need it. I'll just leave it like that for now and not care. My idea is to kind of push through this. There we go. I thought I hit that. I wonder if... I'll put it up a little bit, but I think I'm going to have to do something different for these ones. Sort of a show that I can half-ass this stuff and people still find entertainment in it, so I'll probably just not care enough. Leave it like that. What's wrong with Lyra? So, you know, this feels darker than this. Just make sure this is balanced out. So that to that, this feels way too dark, even if it's technically the same tone map scale. That feels more on par with this. Oh, and actually I'm not even at the brightest. So from here to here, how is that so different? I think it's because I'm looking at. The sky feels I think we could focus on a darker area. Yeah, it's actually about the same. So that's fine. I can just do like this. Did I name these? Yes, I did. I didn't name these though. Okay, we don't have a crackle in this one either. These are all moving, so it's fine. I might add some extra clouds, but I don't know if I want to deal with it. I wonder if the cloud cyclones being gone here would work better. Where am I? In here. Rim is hard on these kind of buildings because there's not a lot of... The rim works best if you have a nice round surface with lots of vertices, but these don't have many vertices. So getting the light to work right is going to be Actually, no, that kind of looks good. Never mind. Thought that was going to take more work. Okay, we're going to focus on the building here. Put the aperture up a bit more. I'm kind of going for a tilt shift feel. I think might work best here to really give a blurred background here. And we are going to do the same thing. Is sky card moving? No. Oh, and I would want to remind if anybody has any questions or well, anything regarding what we're doing or things I've done before, point of the stream. So don't feel bad about asking questions. Oh, that's moving way too fast. That could work. I think clouds might be a little bit too big. So I'm going to shrink them down and move the sky card up. So this is running into the border of some lighting. Comes out in October, whatever, just play it in October. Once it's out, you have plenty of time to play it, and then months later, you won't care about it because something else will come out. So, what's a couple of days? Oh, I don't think her tone map skill got handled right. No, it shows your tone map scale is at 0. No, it's not. Aha! Even this one has it visible just a little bit. It's fine, I'm gonna make it black anyway. Yeah, you can't see it just by a teeny bit. So like, I can see the outlines. I don't know if the stream's picking it up, but that's fine. Well, actually, I don't know if I can add wind because these trees and stuff wouldn't be moving. I really wish they could. That'd be cool. I was going to do another breakaway here, but I'm not sure as to what yet. So I'm just going to leave that. What is this project for? Shits and giggles. There's really not much to this. It's just something. It's immensely stupid. Here, I could show you what it is. It's we decided we wanted to make something crackle stupid, and so that's what we started. There we go. So that's what this is. That's all we got right now. That's where it is. You're making stupid. Yeah. It's See, I think it's glorious. My favorite part is still this part. Good times. Okay. So that's why I'm like, why am I putting time into this? I'm just gonna rush it. Okay, but this one being in the sky, I want to have nice strong lighting on. So I'm going to redirect here. But every time I go to do this, I forget how to do it. Okay. Then I always remember. Is there a spot that has very, very little lighting? There's like a light over here or something. That's weird. I don't think so. I think I'm just going to have to go with black and then do it myself. That's fine. Black dragon. Hello. I'm gonna copy her light again. Did I not copy Lyra? I did, or not copy. Actually, wait. No, we don't do it that way. Make new light, then paste. So the folder is made and it's the official folder. All right. That's me. Thank you. But the main thing I want to try to remember with this is that it's made to be stupid, so just not rush it, but just push through it. I don't want to spend like a crap load of time on this and just for like no reason. Usually it's gonna be creepier if it's from below, especially if it's gonna be cut off slightly at the neck. Do it like this and a little bit from behind. If you put up the radius is already up, that should be fine. It's gonna move. Okay. Even though it still should be important to name your stuff, so that's what I'm trying to do. Focal distance should be on dragon. 7 if I put aperture all the way up. Okay, there's some lights that need to move better, mainly ambient. It looks best when it starts right around here. So I'm going to playhead that. The other thing I want to grab is from here. gonna stretch this a little bit. But, oh, not Windows key. The only thing that bugs me right now, or for one, I think it's my rim light hits the beginning here. Is it the rim? Yes. Why are you still hitting cloud? Okay. The thing that kind of sucks though is that since how I did everything beforehand is that technically I have to redirect the lighting on every model, but the planning is done. That's the important part. No, Derpy's supposed to be Derpy. Her looking up implies that she actually knows what's going on. I thought about doing like lightning and stuff, but I feel like that might be too much. No, anyways, the thing that it bothers me the most right now here is that it takes until here that the face is actually visible, or at least clearly. So I'm thinking about moving maybe the camera, even if it's down a little bit. Yeah, that'll work. Just so then it gives it from here to here, so a little bit more in a second. Otherwise, it was like the last couple of frames are all that was it. Crackle looks like he's looking at the camera. I don't want that. I don't even care about like where he's targeted. I think that's the only spot that makes him work. That'll work. Maybe go forward. Oh yeah, this was also going to camera tone map scale. I was like, is music still playing? Well, it's even my comedy isn't made with comedy sometimes. You have to be serious about it. You have to. It actually takes thinking, like planning on trying to make things funny that maybe normally wouldn't be. So yeah, there's a lot of serious thought involved with it, but that's kind of expected. I thought even Luna's Banishment had some very serious thought put into stuff. So this technically, like my yeah, I'll call it, keep it like that. My original plan with this is to not really animate Dragon at all. Crackle's going to basically be just in standard T pose for most of it, because it's more fun that way. The model doesn't really have much control in terms of how much you move it. So if I try to do it too much, it's going to be obvious that I'm trying, and it's just going to be worse. So I think it's actually funnier if I just don't give a shit. Wait, there's one other thing I wanted to do with this. The sky itself is too zoomed in on. I want to shrink it down. Okay, we'll do that. Grab this one. I have to make it similar in lighting. I don't have to be the exact same. This has to be similar. There's actually no animating right now, so it's not that Crackle's broken. It's just that there's not much flexibility in terms of how to make them move. So like leg wise, I mean the legs work, but if I were to try to make Crackle walk, it's going to be very, very minimal, because how the hell do you make him like move any distance with the legs that small? The body, like with how everything just moves, it would take a lot of time. Like here, the neck isn't really weighted that great in terms of when it bends down here. It should have more bones there if you wanted to have actually good detail. The neck itself is essentially just a tree trunk, all the way from this point to this point. And so there's no other motion that I can do in here. So like bending the head down would be like this. So there's very little control I have for it, and like a lot of the realism that a lot of the ponies that have it, like the hair that can blow in a wind, or the extra motion, there is none of that. So it would look mainly static, even if I tried as hard as I can to give it detail. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think it was ever expected to really do much with this model other than just be like Crackle. Crackle always ever just stood there, so why should I do anything different? Yeah, I guess you could say giraffe with small legs. Or like here, the tail. I mean, this is the only tail motion it has. So, like if it had bones for all the spines, extra bones for the wings and for the neck, and more for the tail, I could see being more usable. But as it is right now, no, not really. Or like also nostrils. But all the mouth can do is just this. For the most part. I mean, even the tongue is like locked to the mouth. So so yeah, there's no teeth on the bottom too. So it's because of that, that if you can't go and be as realistic as possible, you just try to be as stupid as possible with it. So you don't need, I think Crackle's fine just as is. I probably need to get that eye out of there. Yeah, I don't want it looking at the camera because that'd be weird. Well, weirder than what we're doing already. Now I have to make sure that for these shots, I can't be I can't be like dark with it. I have to actually be pretty bright, because if I go too dark, it's going to be hard to determine what happened for a shot that's only a fourth of a second. So I needed the lighting to make everything easy to pinpoint what's who it is and everything. So but I want to light from underneath usually gives an ominous evil feel, while light from above is more of that like the hero type. So I want to give that feeling of ominous. So usually the ways to do that are low camera looking up and low lighting looking up. So shit, I need a second here. So this one, I can put it like this. Do it like that. And then we'll do one more. It's usually my 4-point lighting I do. This one will be like that. But I might want to bring up, because right now the nose is a lot darker, you can see here. So I probably want to try to do that here, but I think it's the highlight that's giving the... No, it's not the highlight. Is it the rim? Yes. So we're going to move the rim down. And we're going to turn off shadows. Yeah, there we go. Okay. That's good enough for me for now. And for those that don't know my coloring scheme, red means started, but I still have to animate. Blue means I haven't even figured out the basics of the shot yet. Yellow means that it's animated and I just have to finalize it. And green means done. So, no, so like what I was saying for ominous was, so when it, like for one, they're looking at the sky, so that's why the camera's up at a higher angle for them. But the ominous feel is like from here, doing that low angle shot. This was supposed to be like a symbol of power, so looking down from above, behind. But then most of these shots are always from below. Because it always feels more ominous that way. Well, no, I don't want to do too much. There's pacing, and a lot of the stuff is, especially like, Crackle is supposed to be derped, so it's like as if Derpy's eyes were focused right on you. It just doesn't make any sense for the character. So I never plan to have Crackle's eyes focus on anything, because then you're trying to be purposely creepy, or you're trying to be. When like in this, I'm trying not to be creepy. I'm trying to be. I'm trying to make it look like I'm trying to be creepy, but but I am never actually doing it. So I'm using cliche things. So having the eye not show, because I was looking at it would be kind of creepy, and that just kind of goes with what I want to do. So, so this is Crackle. So I find it funny that I'm like just zooming through making this thing, and still didn't finish yesterday one. Though I did most of it last night. I just have to do a couple last little tweaks and render it, so I should be able to get it out for Friday. I'm just going to copy all these. Yeah, so the point is I don't want to mix up creepy and funny. Like, unless you had enough pacing to do it. This is meant to just be, like, if you want to see, like, how I'm trying to think with it, was that when this starts out, it is being serious. And it is giving the impression that it's serious. But I didn't want to drag that on for too long, because if I drag down being serious for too long, it can actually make people disappointed. So that's why then I did this, because it's a simple thing, but it just immediately just makes you go, the fuck. But I give enough time for, if you jumped right into that and jumped too far in, people would be confused. So I have this, I left a couple seconds of I guess emergence would be the best way, just to show this is what the direction we're going in. Then just this, because it's just a bunch of stupid funny. But mainly that's so that it can come to this shot, and which is just fucking funny. I don't know. And then a lot of it was just lead up. So like my plan was I really wanted to do these parts. And this song is we actually edited quite a bit. Like there's part, or each section we removed half of it and just edited it all together. So this is supposed to be it's originally men twice, or men 4 times singing. We changed it so it's men twice, then the full chorus right away. Crack his face. It's just straight on, it just never gets old. Yeah, it's timing, and it's giving it to where and and you have to give time for people to react. So that's why, like, oh, this is a lot of stupid, goofy. Derpy is going to be confusing for people, so I need to give time. So, well, I was giving time for the last part, but Derpy's funny for the sole fact of it just comes out of nowhere and then just skips right by. So she's funny because the fact that it's so quick. I probably should double check my cameras here because I don't think these are all set for the right zoom level. I think this one is already zoomed in, right? Yeah, I think I did that one already. Yeah, I did. I actually don't know if I set all the others of these up. I want to do that quick, sorry. Yeah, this one I already did. I remember that. I did that last time. So. I don't think I need to play with the focal plane there, but as long as I don't have too high of an aperture, then that should be fine. And this was already set to, right? Yes. All right. No, in terms of like comedy and stuff, comedy I think is probably one of the most fun things to do, especially these types where it's comedy that's funny because it's a parody on something that's serious. I think that's way more fun. But to do that, then you have to have a pretty good understanding of the serious. So that's why I like making comedy stuff, but I have to make something serious every now and then because otherwise I'm just not going to do as well at funny. That's how I feel. Technically the wings flap during this, so I have to make the wings flap. And that's what's funny about this. Just the little wings, they're just flappy. Alright, when this shot starts, I need to have them on their way up. Okay, I'm actually going to slow them down because they don't need to actually go that fast for what I need. Yeah, that should work fine. I'm going to keep some extra of it just in case. Yeah, it was yeah, he said something about put Best Dragon in, so we went into a different shot from the other video that had the same cloud structure, and we literally did this, and it was just so stupidly funny. So I said, remember this, we will make something from this later, and that's how we did this. And well, I could call this shot like done at this point. Normally if I'm jumping right up to considering something done, like what I'd normally put as green, I need to give myself like a day to where I can come back here, look at it again, and say, if I can still say that it looks good, then I will make it such. But sometimes like you go and look at this the next day and you're like, wow, what was I thinking? That's a bunch of crap. And I do that about half the time, so I don't want to jump right into saying something is done until I know it is done. If I've had multiple days where I've been looking at it almost about in that situation, that I'm fine. It's kind of like a caterpillar. Looks like the one from like A Bug's Life. That one is like French. Can't remember. So we need to grab same thing from this one. The one, it's actually refreshing though to be able to just make something that I can just super rush through. It's actually, I kind of want to go back to doing it a bit more, but when I was doing the occasional like half-hour challenges and stuff, I learned more from those than probably anything, because they challenge you to cut corners and do things efficiently, and I think that that's a very useful. So it's being able to just try to figure out like, okay, this is what I need to do. I'm going to rush it and see what happens. Don't need any of the clouds in this one. I realize now that I technically did not change the camera's lighting, the tone map scale, but I don't think it's going to matter with these ones because I'm only showing the clouds anyway. If anything, I might lighten it up on this one. Hello, Michael. So I'm trying to do with this lighting is, so for the rim I'm trying to get something just kind of covering the edges stuff. But like here I don't want to have the body so lit as the legs. I want to create a little bit of harsher shadows, so I'm going to move it to about here. So I'm getting some nice bright edges here. But this one I'm using to create kind of like a, it's expanding a little bit from it, but the highlight, this one I've been using actually to make more of the rim light. Like this. Let's see here. I'm probably gonna have to turn off shadows for this one. Like that. So I'm getting much sharper edges to it. Then the main, I've been going from below. So I have to play with to try to get all the shadows right. This is going to be a little more difficult because I have the legs and the belly to worry about. think I might break this into two. So I'm going to pull this one here so that it gets that sharper edge, but it doesn't hit the stomach so much. And then I'm going to take another one, put this one the edges of that leg. Because I don't want to make it evenly lit. I want to have it be kind of uneven. Okay, see, that looks pretty good. Oops, I'm skipping numbers. No, I thought I had. Everything's still copied. This one I do need the clouds for. This I'm technically jumping to the other side of the model, but I really don't think I'm going to care for this. I don't think it's going to matter. I want to say crackles every time. It's I've had a lot of or I've seen a lot of people with animation that complain that they say I'll work 9 months or a year on this one video and it gets so many views, but then I spent a day on this one and it has 10 times that many. And we kind of covered a little bit of that last time. It's still why, but sometimes the stuff that's made stupid fast is just funny, and people latch onto that stuff. That's actually why I want to kind of go to making short, stupid stuff like this for a little bit. Well, I don't mean not always stupid, but at least to make some nice short stuff, because I've been putting stuff off so much, trying to make big, long, complex videos, when probably should just take a break sometimes and just make something really stupid for no reason. it's not even about funny. It's in terms of like people looking at videos that are, or like, why did this one get more videos than this other one? It's, I kind of brought it up before. It's about the repeatability and the shareability of the rewatchability and the shareability of the content. If you have something that's super short, it is like 6 seconds long. Like when I made the Heimper the Sparkle with the dolphin thing, that got super popular. And I think it helped a lot because it was super short. Somebody could watch it, finish it, and then it was easy to pass on and share, make gifs of, and whatever. So it made it easy to share. But it was also rewatchable, and a lot of stuff out there, if you have a music to it, it's super rewatchable. So you get that. But if it's like a 15-minute video with just talking, like a story, you're probably going to get people that will watch it once, maybe twice, but you don't have much rewatchability. So short and catchy is the best bet for if you're trying to just get straight views. But I don't care as much about that. I mean, you can get 10 million views on something, but if it's just the same people watching it over and over again, I mean, it's great, but it's about trying to find a bigger audience, and that's where the views, I think, that really matter are. It's also if you're like trying to math out your channel and stuff. I don't really care about that. I used to care, like, watch sub count. I hit 100,000 and I stopped caring. I didn't even remember how much I was at until I checked just earlier today because I was on my channel doing something.
How can we trust again when hope is a ghost, fear survives?
Oh, this is actually not Crackle.
I'm just gonna sit
I'm still going to keep the same numbering sequence though. So I'm going to keep this as 5. But I'm actually going to skip this one for now. Because I'm on a roll in terms of how everything else is going. In terms of how lighting is, I want to keep that fresh.
I'm just gonna stay here for a while. Need to catch my breath.
So it's I remember this would be best on the graph. So you just get in a rhythm with stuff, and you don't want to break that rhythm. So I don't mind skipping Derpy for now. This one I have to be a little bit more careful on, because I can't. Can I do it like this? Probably can, but I'm probably going to make this light actually, or the rim light, come from this direction. Just because if I don't, it's going to lose a lot of the detail. And if I don't want to do it, I don't want to position the light, say, here, because it's too straight of a line. I want to give that sense of definition. So I'll probably do something more like this. Yeah, that should work. Plushie Royal Battle Royale. Yeah, that was just a weird video. I didn't expect that to ever have a lot. I just want to make sure the eye is visible, so that's why I need to put a little extra there. Oh, look at that. We got so much yellow. And that was even my effort. All I did was hold a camera, but everybody else is the one that had the fun with that one. I almost threw out the crackles. Well, other than the whole video is crackled, but... I'll go to 2 still. Go back to the other crackles wings still. Other crackles. Same crackle. What am I talking about? Definitely is watching. No, the Daybreaker thing was last week. That I do want to overdo that joke. So I had it planned from Monday to end, to really just go through Friday, and that was it. Something, and actually it was weird is that today I appeased the Wendy gods, I think, because I went to Wendy's on Friday, and today I went the whole day and my phone never said I was at Wendy's. So I think it literally, like, I just had to please the Wendy's gods, and then I was okay. So either that, or because I actually went there, it was like, oh crap, this is where this is actually Wendy's. Well, my bad. Seems a little too bright. I think the skybox is a bit brighter on this spot, so I'm going to not remember which skybox is. Oh, first one. Never mind. Forgot I overwrote it. There, that's better coloration. Seems a little bright. I think that might be the main. Yeah, I'm gonna bring down the red just a teeny bit too. Alright, and then the eye, I think... needs to be more... I'll just keep it like that. Problem is, when you have two eyes, you can make it look dirt by going opposite directions, but if you have one eye, no matter what direction it looks like the natural direction. It sucks. Oh, I see more people I know. How are you doing, Brad? We're making wonderful things. Oh, you said my name. I'm gonna notice. Nope, I just grouped a group. That's not what I want to do. Holy samurai warrior. Oh, good times. Grab lighting from this one because this is a very similar shot. That's a good preview picture for the video too, right there. Oh, I actually realized I've been ignoring the camera this whole time. I'll do it after this shot's done. I'm doing well. I've been enjoying a lot of R&R time after con. But I am getting to the point where I'm going to have to start buckling down to do some stuff again. As I know, Ciderfest is coming up, so I have to work on some kind of promotional something or another for that. Oh, that's good. Nice rim, but not too much in the back of there either. I don't even know if I'm going to need a main. Those eyes are just completely wonky. Yeah, I'm just going to get rid of the main. I don't need it. Let's get rid of these ones for Avatar. Now I can figure this out. The camera. For promotional stuff, you're making official promotional stuff maybe about a month, but in terms of promotion, it's normally just saying, hey, there's this con, go to it, I'm going, that kind of stuff. They offered about doing the official one, but I was just like, nah, I didn't have the time to wait. After BronyCon, I didn't want to jump right into something that big, so I wouldn't really have the time to do it. So, but if I'm just doing something on the side, I can do whatever I really want. I have the flexibility, so if I start running out of time, I can just shrink the idea. So, but the main focus right now is finishing the Australia video. We should be done in the next couple days, and then potentially this. I don't know. I'm not really working anything on the side. I wonder if a camera spin during this would work. Nah. It's too quick. Does Derpy have lights I put on there? Oh, it just was the cut. Was that way. So, whatever. The wing is the focus, so focus on the wing. Aperture way up. Okay. Oh, I had 13,000 as the base for everything. It's probably not the smartest. That one's fine. Kind of miss you saying that every time you came in. It's that I gotta get foolish samurai warrior. The clouds don't match here. Why are they so much brighter? Same brightness as all the other shots. I think the background is just super dark compared to the others. Yeah, I think it's darker than the rest. Kind of. There's got to be some of the lighting that's hitting it. No. That is weird. It just, they stand out way more in that shot than any other shot. Easy way to fix this. If it's the lighting that's in the map itself, we'll just grab all our everything. There. That balances a little better in the background there. That one I haven't even done yet. Hold on, I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything you said. Yeah, BronyCon I'm still 50-50 on for next year. I'll probably end up going though. Ciderfest is the one I'm always guaranteed to go to because that one's always way more fun. Okay, I have 2 more crackle shots, and then I can go to Derpy. Close again. Back. This will be the same, but it'll be close. Oh, yeah, if it's only half hour from you, yeah, if you don't go, that's kind of stupid. So, that's cool, though. It's so convenient. I used to have one that was just, like 5 minutes from me, not even, for MLP MSP, but, that one doesn't exist anymore. Ciderfest is a 5-hour drive, but it's definitely worth it to me. Do not want to show the wing because then I have to show it flapping. But if they're not showing it all, I don't have to worry about it at all. So I'm just going to remove it from the shot. There we go. I love how like there's an actual break in the spine here just from the model or whatever. I just don't even care. I'm just going to leave it. This is another one that I'm going to probably have to spin everything. Actually, I'm going to spin it. I'm going to go to here. And then I'm just going to take these claws and lift them. Yeah, that looks better. Actually, I can probably do that in this previous shot too. Just because in the actual shot states that they're there, it doesn't mean I have to keep them there. The thing is, you only get a boost in viewership if, like, yeah, last stream we did a lot of stupid stuff, but the main people that were there are the same people that are always there, so you're not going to get a boost unless people know, and that's not always a consistent thing. So, no, not really. I mean, there's probably like 14 to 15 here right now, because that's the norm. Oh, wow, 26. Holy crap. There's actually quite a bit of people here today. That's cool. Oh, maybe there was some. But again, it's also because we're doing something a little more entertaining, like Crackle. There's a point back during when I was doing Remembrance, we were at like 50 pretty consistently, but it didn't last that long. Alright, lighting from the front, we're going to go with... Let's go with this one. This is the one I really want to see how it turns out for lighting. Oops, I want to delete. Come back. This for now. Not sure how I'm going to do the highlight. That face. See, I think I might want a little bit sharper shadows. looks like it's good. It depends on the music whether or not I can do lightning flash here. Plus my thought is if I do one lightning flash, I'm kind of stuck doing more, and I don't know if I want to do that. I gotta fix the cloud back here. I keep the lights on actually. I know, the wing flapping is ridiculous. I love it. Because this is like... So yeah, I don't know if a lightning flash would actually work here. Normally I feel like a lightning flash works really, really good if you're in a position where the face is really, really dark and it helps accentuate and create sharp shadows on things. But here, I already have the sharp lighting. I don't know if I want to do that. Especially since I don't know if it doesn't really work in the music. Because it's too smooth all the way through. It's beauty. Look at that face. It's gorgeous. I love the eye twitch though. That's like my favorite part of that. Anyways, alright, now we gotta do dirt beat. Wait. Kind of. This is I just gotta color this one, then we can do dirt beat. And I will make a folder for actors, even if it's one person, just because it's keeping consistent. All lights go in one thing, all characters or actors go in one, particles in another, just to keep consistent, even if it only contains one. If things get changed later, I'm not having to worry about trying to scatter things. And I prefer to keep everything in folders if possible. The only time I don't is like sky cards I'll keep separate and some other stuff, but try to keep everything in a folder if possible. Alright, Derpy. We'll do the same with Derpy here as I did with Crackle. Since it's actually quicker to do this than I thought it would be. This one first. I think it'll work better like this. No, again, a flashlight's gonna be too much during that shot. The whole point of that shot with the face is for it to be the funny part. If I try to do too much, it's gonna distract from that, and I don't want that. Gotta give people time to process. The wrong sliders. There we go. I understood why they have default, or if I can just disable default. I never use it. This is more of an annoyance than it is anything. There we go. A little bit more on the regular ambient. There we go. It's going to take time for that thing. Rendering this is going to kind of suck because I'm going to have to actually, for any flex that was changed beyond its original, which for Derpy is going to be, I have to render it earlier to try to get the, so it locks all the flexes in place. But technically this is just a picture. Oh, I guess there's a waterfall back there, but who's going to notice? Derpy's probably not going to move, so I want to make sure that her hair doesn't go flippy-floppy everywhere. So I'm going to go big. And playhead that for sure. Alright, and is the sky card used? Yes. sky card could be dropped down a bit to try to get to the lighter section of the sky card. Yeah, that'll work better. It's funny because Lyra, Derpy, and I think, is it Lyra and Derpy that have the exact same hair? No, they don't. Okay, they have very similar hair. I think Derpy has Rainbow's hair. No, I don't think so. Anyway, no. Yes, RD is good. Good choice. Okay, so that's red. Okay, so that makes sense. All right. This is gonna be tough because this area, well, for one, this needs to be dropped down. So that. I wonder if... No, it's going to be better for doing... keeping the wide zoom. I'm just wondering if maybe I should move the camera in such a way that I take advantage of a larger amount of the background, so I'm not going off the map there. This cloud cyclone is not visible here, so I can get rid of it. Yeah, that'll work better. But I want to make sure that it's still visible that it's a city, so I need to... I like that, but I need to... I wonder if I put it here... It's like I'm driving a crackle car. Beep beep. I wonder if I should have the camera turned. Nope. There and then no, because I'm following Crackle more. And those shots I'm going to be changing quite a bit here. So this is going to be let's call it overlook. Usually the first word that pops in my head is the first word that's always going to pop in my head, so I might as well just use it. Easier for me to remember. Purple Robin. Yes. Well, hell, really, I can't tell the difference. She does such a good job with that voice. Why are you Crackle? Crackle. Just from the darkness comes Crackle. This I have to be a bit careful with because the camera's going to pan around. See this? Right now Crackle doesn't really stand out, so I have to make it like I have to change the lighting in such a way to make it so that it's Crackle's pulled from the environment. But if I'm doing that, I'm going to be adding in, like down here I'm fine. I think it's the head I'm worried about right now. I wonder if I just add to that. That's all I need to do. So this should be fine. It's a little brighter than I'd want, but I'm still creating this harsh shadowed area, and that's back there. As long as it melds with the rest, I think it will. If anything, this highlight on the head will go a little brighter. Right now the water is reflecting nothing because the sky card is not there. If I put the sky card there, it probably will reflect that instead. It probably won't actually reflect it unless it's visible though. Yeah, I think it has to be on in the camera range. Whatever, not gonna care enough. I don't think I can even put it at any angle to make it so that it does. Nope. Oof. Can't have... Okay, so the water might be an issue with this. But if it is, that's actually really easy to fix because I can... The water is probably all at a specific level, lower than everything else. Yeah. So I can replace it. with whatever I really want. But it's just, you can see that the reflection is changing as I'm looking around, though that's not what the camera is seeing, because it's only caring what I'm seeing. So I think if that's actually the case, is it only based on what the work camera sees? Right now it's seeing whatever it wants, but if that's actually the case, you could probably kind of play with that a bit. But if anything, I'll deal with that later. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Alright, this shot I wanted to have some ponies running around. So this one I'm going to set as red. These ones I'm not quite sure exactly what I want to put in there yet. But we can get back to... That's a good herder phrase. So this is Crackle singing. Come on. This could be. Whoops. I've never actually done that before. You can import multiple animations at the same time. I did not know that. That's kind of cool. Might need to look into that a bit more. You can also export. Oh, I wonder if I can export animation of an entire shot in as a certain specific save file and then import it onto another shot as long as the models are the same. That would be interesting, actually. Allow you to export and import multiple models without having to have the save files for such. See, accidentally click something, learn something new. This one's actually going to be really hard to light because the camera's spinning. So trying to get the rim light to look right while spinning is going to be but one thing at a time. Arrgh. I don't think everything on these is the same. Bald head or terrible hair day every day? I really don't care. Fight for the self. I used to care what my hair looked like, but I really don't care anymore. When genetics fights against you and such, I'll actually want to have the official light group. I'm not gonna fight genetics if I can help it. I thought this model is lower. I thought so. Okay, so the camera's going one way. I might want to utilize the sky card to give extra effect. So this is going in such a way to imply that it's going around that direction. So I want to have it be enhancing it. Yeah, that works better. And I probably don't even need the... Oh, you know what? I'm going to keep them. I'm just going to move them because they're not actually in position. Sorry, just catch your question now. Do you know about Blender? If you do other controls and lessons, I have no idea. I've used Blender to make a model at one point, but that's about the most I've known, and that was only for making like a flag or something super short or simple. As for If they're similar, I don't know. I know that SFM looks easier, but I think anything's only as easy as, I mean, the more you use something, the more you get adjusted to it, the simpler it feels. So yeah, I wouldn't be able to help you very much. Okay, so these models are dead. That's good to know. So I need to delete through 169. I can delete this folder. Even easier. Okay, that should fix that issue. No, I don't want to have... Like right now the clouds are making it look like they're moving in an incorrect way. That works. It looks easier in Blender. I hope that that's the case, since I'd like to get into animating with either both programs or one of them. If you're looking to just start out and get and to learn some of the basics of animation, I would recommend SFM because it's easier to jump into and learn those portions. But if you're looking to do something like professional, like in the industry later or something, SFM is probably not going to teach you much in regards to that, because that's also learning the software and some of the other very fine tuning things. But SFM is great for at least learning a lot of the basics of animation. I mean, you can do some really cool things with it, but I don't think it's going to get you that far professionally. I kind of want to get these ones done because it's going to be, I think, very similar in terms of how the clouds are moving. I was a little ahead of it there. Yeah, you have, I would say you have less control, but I think I think you can do very similar things to Blender, but you're going to have to put a lot more effort into it. And, well, Blender, you're going to be able to do lighting with only a couple lights and make it look much cleaner and easier. SFM can get similar, but you're going to have to try to simulate it with lots of other different types of lights and workarounds when it just seems like you don't need to. But SFM, I don't think, is built for trying to make things realistic looking. It works great for TF2 style stuff, which is kind of that cartoonish realism, and that's what's great because the pony models are cartoonish realism. So as long as you try not to step too far outside of that area, I think SFM works great. But it's also just great for learning because it's a free tool. Yeah, Blender is free as well, but it's just it feels more like a video game. I mean, it even works on a game engine, so you're going to learn in a more comfortable format. Personally, anyway. It's for that reason that I was able to jump into it pretty quickly and feel comfortable. Okay, so the other one actually had brighter side here. Yeah, and a lot of those options for like realistic water surface and stuff, it can be great, but you have to learn how to use it too. So if you're just looking to have some fun, make some videos, and not care, I think SFM is great for that. That's actually its, I think, the strongest point. Besides the Blender, if you want to make much, you're probably going to be spending a lot of time making the models that you need. But SFM has so many damn free resources that it's a lot easier to jump into and make something when you have a absolutely enormous library of stuff. Yeah, animation takes a lot of patience. I will say that. If you're not willing to spend hours and hours working on something, you're gonna get frustrated real quick. Like even this is something immensely stupid, and I'm rushing through it. I've been using the software for a while, so I'm able to cut corners, and this is taking me hours to put together. So. But it's sometimes not about making something great and wonderful and the best animation ever. It's about just creating stuff. Just make stuff. But having fun. So I didn't like that the spines were visible in the corner here. So I went and gave Crackle an extra long neck. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting this camera needs to make sure that's on point. Yeah, this is a new project of sorts. I was working on. It's something really, really stupid for the point of stupid. Cool. I like cool. He went to cool. It actually comes in handy with Adam having graduated now, because that's one of the things that the panels now I always try to bring up is like, I do it for hobby, so it's hard to talk to people that want to do it professionally as to like what are they looking for, what should they do, because he actually has done it. So I always try to have at least a part where I ask that and be like, what is your insight? And if people have questions afterwards, they know that they can go to him and ask. So these cyclone clouds had been pulled from a different animation whose lifetime for these was a lot lower than what I'm using. So I have to copy paste to reset their life, otherwise they don't spin. That's one concept I've never learned as to why it does that. For one, I need to get these lower in such a way that they're actually going to be usable.
Dry.
one thing I'm not liking right now is that the light on the eye is very minimal. And that, to me, the eye is the most important part of anybody. So having low light on the eye is just going to be distracting. Don't need much, I just need enough to give it a life. Let's put it to there. It's better than that. What I say about doing it as a hobby is that, like, there's certain, like, terms or whatever that I know I have wrong, and I just don't care, like, how I name my lights. I don't care. Like, yeah, if you're doing it professionally, you might want to have a good idea as to how things are named to stay standard. But for me, I don't care. I'm not trying to go anywhere, so I don't. If I mess it up, I don't. Oh well. Alright, so let's release the crackles now. This, one thing that's going to suck about this is how many of these I have to worry about. Mainly for the light redirection. Nice thing is, I think it works this way, where I can have one model. So where'd my crackles go? The current one is Phil Lober Fly for music. The one from before was Bring Me Back to Life. I think it's actually Extreme Music is the name of the band, but it was a cover of something. Yeah, their name is actually Extreme Music. So yeah, that's all the info for it. It's there is a link to the playlist I'm playing right now in the below Twitch in the stream. So if you're ever curious on any of the music too, or if you heard it and couldn't find the info for it, you can at least find it in that list. It's just like 100 and something songs long right now, so might take a while to find what you want. Actually, this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be for getting all these pasted. I like that I can just use the same model. It'd take way longer to do otherwise. It's gonna be tough to have to light all of them. I want to try not to light the clouds too much. I can see that'll work for that one. This is going to be the one that's probably not going to work very well. This crackle looked like he just kind of left an empty space, so I'm trying to correct that. Come on. Rise are all weird. I really don't think I really care. Actually, I'm trying to think of like ways to make these clouds spin faster. I have an easy way to do it. What am I doing? Don't know if I quite like spinning with it. I think spinning an opposite would work better. Okay, I need to make sure that they're all moving. Yeah, they are. Inner ring stops right then. So now I probably have to stretch this out to there. There was kind of a structured group at one point, but it kind of had some bad apples, and it's been tried to be recreated many times, and it's kind of failed every time. So it's just kind of left to die. So yeah, it's mainly just at this point just kind of friends groups. I can hear the audio, like here when I'm doing it, because I mean, you have to have audio on for one, and you have to have audio in there for as well. But like when you hold Shift, it pops up with the green bar, which is great because it allows you to preview other points. It'll preview the audio with that. But which actually, one of my most useful parts is if you're like doing a change over this period, you can hold Shift to just jump to that period and see what the change looked like, or what the original looked like, and then what the change looks like. But other than that, like dragging this should also work, or dragging this. But you have to have the audio on for one. I don't know if there's like a setting for enabling the audio to do that or not. If there is, I don't know. And if it was, I accidentally hit it and it's been on since. Well, like the PABs pulled in a lot of people, so that's different. And there's a lot of the same people across the community work on similar projects. But as for other than just the SFM Ponies DDNR group, there's really no centralized like big chat anymore. There was some, but again, it's kind of never really lasted. But that's just coming from my side. There might be other groups on there I just don't know of, so. But the thing is I don't really like being in a big group like that. Like, it's difficult to get assistance or opinions when you post in a large chat looking for it, because then that's when the bad apple thing comes in, because most people are going to focus on the worst opinion, and when you have a large amount of people like that, it takes one person making one bad comment to make you ignore everybody else's, and then it just becomes a negative group. And it can work, but everybody has to understand that it's about being positive and constructive. But you'll get that one person be like, that sucks, or don't do that, that's stupid, and it's like, that's not the point. So yeah, that's that. I've actually been, I need my other window back. Been considering making a Discord group that thrives on positivity. That there's that the main thing is no bashing, no putting people down. If somebody did something that was that could definitely be improved upon, it's not about telling them how to make the best thing possible, but how to take the next step towards it. And but policing such a thing would just be such an ass that I just don't know if it's worth it. I know a lot of people say, I brought it up to a lot of people, and they all say, yeah, that'd be a great idea, but it's the, you want to bring people in that can provide the good opinion to people, but trying to make sure that those that are the bad apples are removed as soon as possible and noticed. That's a lot of work, and I already have a bunch of Skype or Discord groups I'm in that I really don't watch, mainly because of a lot of that kind of stuff, and I'm not one for shitposting on like chats like that. If I'm going to be reading through it, I like to be at this productive thing that I can get to the meat of what people are looking for and just deal with it right away. So I don't know, I just have been, it's been something I thought about for like 2 months. I've just been like, eh. But there is, I do wish that there was a place that was a more positive place for people to go to converse and talk about stuff without having to worry about that. And it's like, and it's pretty weird, it's like within the SFM Point News group, that's difficult to find, but I have all these other chats that I go to where people will act similar, but they are all under a better understanding, I think. And I think a lot of them are just chatting and enjoying conversation, while people that are looking for assistance would really just take it hard. So, okay, I like that lighting a bit more. Okay, this one in the background here. This one needs to be turned a little bit. He kind of starts flying straight. There. This, I think, I personally, I think, other than the quick shot ones, this secret here, just the simpleness of the music, which is gravel, the gravel's coming down, it's probably my second favorite shot in that. Okay, this one's going to be a little bit more interesting to do. So this one, I do need crackles, but I'm going to need multiples. So the cloud cyclone is not needed. Sky card is not needed. But like, I know I could start with a lot of people I know, but if it's a lot of people I know, then it's not a group for helping people, because a lot of the people I think that need the most amount of help are people that are new and I don't know. And so I wanted to make it kind of a public thing. But I think the main thing that I want to keep away from it is that there are hundreds of places that people can go to shitpost, and a lot of the chats I've seen have their own location for shitposting. But I don't like that, because it's like you have so many other places to do it, and that's not the point of it. So it'd be, if I did have it, it would be like there would be none of that. It would be there. This is where you go if you need help and you need assistance and opinions. This is not where you go to just shitpost. So that's the main thing. Personally, anyway. Why did that not change the light in this? It's alive. Why is that not changing my tone map scale? Usually if something's going weird, save. Yeah, because this is correct focus and everything. So why is my tone map scale not doing anything? Oh, because I don't have lights on. We all have moments. Alright, this one I'm going to probably have to be pretty weird. Oops. I'm probably actually going to have to go darker. Okay. And now I need a light. That crackle's not a light. Everything's delayed. Yeah, I mean, I think shitposting's fine. It's just that there's a place for it. Oops, that's what I needed. When you have people that have sensitive opinions, and I mean, and you can say, "Man, no." It's when you're starting out. It's everything you do is you're just worried that being accepted, and you don't want to feel that you're going. You take people's opinions harshly, and I think it's important that people understand that and aren't treated like ass for it. Okay, so that's going to be a much further distance. Okay, so that's the sharpness of the shadow for that. And that is fine. Okay, so now I need my crackle. Oh yeah, I have a whole bunch of tutorials and stuff on my channel. Yeah, it's just the one thing I've done. You know, a lot of people wanted the recordings of the tutorial, the streams and stuff, and I'm like, okay, so I did that, and then like 1,000 something hours later, I'm like, who's gonna go and watch all that? Oh no, there's I only have the 2 channels. I think it's more fun when they're all coming from the same direction. But I think I'm gonna have a couple be so like this one. I can have. I guess if I'm going to make a different size, I have to make a different scale. And the ones that are bigger should travel faster. These 2 are too close. This one I will then make him smaller and towards the beginning. I'll make him here, and he will be smaller. and therefore slower, because smaller implies further away, which implies covering the distance in a short, or on the ground longer period of time. At least I would think that anyway. Maybe not. It's not that slow. Okay, and then one more crackle towards the end. Probably shouldn't do it like that. I probably should have it out of camera and then start later. Well, yeah, that's why it was going to be smaller for further. They would be traveling slower because further away. That's when it would be smaller further away. Well, I guess it would make a bigger shadow, but yeah, whatever. I don't care. Shut up. So, in terms of the monetization, it is, if the music is copyrighted in such a way that YouTube is going to automatically detect it, no, you can't. So, like in this case, I don't know if this music is going to be automatically detected because I've edited it. YouTube's algorithm works where it will detect or flag you for copyright if you fit with if you have a specific amount of audio that fits within what that song is determined to be the amount for copywriting. So like when somebody sets in a copyright for a song, they could say, well, we'll allow somebody to use 10 seconds of the song, but if it's anything more than 10 seconds, then flag it for copyright. And so I've had songs before, I think the Rocky theme I used, for the amount of time that I used it, which was like 20 something seconds, it didn't actually get flagged because it was within that window, so I was allowed to freely use it. At least it wasn't flagged for such. So but some songs have very, very small windows. So like for this one, it might be, if it's like a 15-second allowed window, if it's set up as such, but because I edited it, it might not actually fit that anymore. So I might get away with it, but it just depends. You don't know. No, actually I'm the opposite. I don't try to monetize. I just make something, whatever it is, with whatever music it works with, and if I can monetize it, great. If I can't, oh well. If you try to make a job out of YouTube and you decide, and by like putting out lots of videos with lots of monetization, for one, if you're going to do animation, YouTube is not going to make you a living wage in any way, not even near it. It's a little bit of side cash is about all it is. For me, it pays for the software. But even with all the stuff I have, I make like currently under $30 a month in YouTube revenue. Most of the money from that is off of tutorials, because tutorials fall under fair use. Because how-to and tutorial videos are actually allowed under fair use, but taking a copyrighted song to make a video isn't. So as long as I don't use copyrighted music during it, I can utilize a lot more stuff. I have more flexibility. But no, I don't try to monetize stuff because it just becomes a hassle of like you're going back and forth with YouTube about stuff because it detected something when it didn't. And if a video gets super popular really quick, it doesn't even matter if there's no music or whatever. I had a video get flagged because it got popular quick enough that it just said I had to prove that I had ownership of the models I was using. And I was like, well, how the hell do I get that? And so I checked. There is a way, but the creator of the models would have to give me a release stating that I can monetize this. Well, he didn't even make it. That was Naka, and it was technically KP Shadow Squirrel. But is she gonna, or she? I don't know. Are they gonna go and tell me that I have authority to use them when they technically are a IP from Hasbro? No, they're not going to. They don't want to put that. They don't have the authority in a way. So yeah, it just becomes down to you eventually can just get screwed for absolutely no reason. So yeah, I have a long story with that one that I'm not going to get into. Okay, so this one started, but I need to put running ponies. Yeah, YouTube is trying to stay legit in terms of they want to compete with Netflix and stuff, but if they kept it where their monetization and stuff was as it was, they're gonna have problems. So I can understand why they did what they did, but they are definitely abandoning a lot of their core group, but nobody wants to leave them because they're such a powerhouse. So I just feel that eventually it's probably going to crash, because YouTube, I remember hearing years ago, it made no money. It was actually lost Google money, but it was a great platform. It was one of those that a company can sell a product that loses them money if a lot of the stuff that it does helps make money in the other sectors that it does, and I think that's what it helps do. But I don't know if this is going to stay forever. It's just other people are like, go to this platform, go to this platform. It's better than YouTube. Yeah, but you can't take it over. You can't topple YouTube. It's got too much of a hold. Yeah, I would. The only way you can make a job out of YouTube is if you're putting out like clickbait videos every other day and getting a large amount of views. But usually the more effort you put into something, the more money it costs to do such, which means that you have to make even more to make money back on it. So it's not worth it at all. There's much better ways of trying to make money. Like working, having a standard job. Anyways, I want to see how the lighting works on all of this. I really wish I could put the wind blowing here with the trees and whatever, but you do. Well, YouTube, I was watching a thing, I think it was Vertasium was doing regarding YouTube, and it was saying that, this is thinking so, and he was saying that it used to be that YouTube went and focused on quality over quantity. But in the last couple of years, they've done a complete 180. Their algorithms used to help promote videos for a longer period of time, or popular videos that even were older. Like, it almost helped promote older content. But now, if after a couple of the days, your video is basically thrown out of the algorithm altogether, and almost all of your views will come within the first 3 to 4 days out from outside sources. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of your internal whatever's, but I mean, the people that are already subscribed to you and watching are important. But if you're trying to grow your channel, that you need to get people outside of that, and YouTube's algorithm is supposed to help you with that. But after that 3 or 4 days, you're screwed, which means you have to have another video come out. So yeah. Yeah, one of the YouTube channels that watches does a video every day, but they also have, that's their job. So anyways, now this is actually working. Oh, I can pause that. Okay. Oh yeah, didn't finish the rest of that anyway. This is still a funny shot. I love it. It's like, yeah, let's just make a 20-second video out of it, and 50-something seconds later, we're still trying to figure out more to it. But considering that all the color was done in one day, that's actually pretty good. I mean, I could finish this in just a couple of weeks easy. Let's just try to figure out what some of these shots will be. But I'm pretty sure those are going to be people shots and like closing shops and that kind of stuff. I was really happy with how this one turned out. Actually, I think I am going to adjust them a bit different, though. I have them fly straighter with the camera. Yeah, that's better. So yeah, I'm gonna have ponies running around where they're running slower than the camera, but the dragons are going faster than the camera. So these are very, very cliche action movie suspense shots. So that's just going in for and stealing ideas that I know I've seen in my head in other videos before. I mean, even here I had to increase the size of their wings because otherwise it made no they'd just be like a worm going through the ground. Well, it's supposed to be like I don't know. I really don't know where I'm going with it. I'm just making it's funny. So like that's what I don't even know what this is supposed to be. But I don't really like the follow-up on this. I don't think it follows the it feels more like a Muppets moment and less like a action shot. But I'm not sure how far. I still haven't figured out how far I want to go into this. Because originally the idea was to have it at this point. Having them drop from the sky, but I've even thought about like ending this in going like Attack on Titan style, because there's technically a model for such, but there's no models for the rope wire thing. But even then, I think that would just be taking this way too far. So anyways, whatever. It's past 9. How long did it take me before I got a hang of all the SFM controls? In terms, actually, before I answer that question, learning the software and getting used to it to the degree of second nature is probably, I think, one of the more important aspects of stuff, because you don't have to think about what you're doing. You like when some people ask what button to push, I don't remember, because it's just when I just do it and I just remember it. And it takes a while to get to that point. And I would say, I don't know how long in terms of hours, but it's in terms of usage of the software, it was hundreds of hours at least. But it took me about my first, probably first year before like I felt to where it was second nature, like to where some of these button pushes, like moving some of these around, because like some of this stuff is delayed because of all the stuff going on, that I can click and know where things are going to be, like that kind of idea. I start closing things even though it hasn't popped up yet. And that is, to me, super, super, super useful to be able to know, but it takes hundreds of hours. And I have, God, I can't even remember how many hours I have. Let's look through here. Yeah, 7,200 hours. So, you put enough time into it, yes, you learn. So, but it does take time. Is there any way to make SF ponies go limp? Is it they're deflating? No. Going limp involves physics and automation. SFM doesn't have any type of physics or automation. Source does, but it's usually based on a continuous time running. Because it's hard to, how do you tell it when to go limp? And how do you have it calculate that when time doesn't exist in terms of SFM? Because I can freely go backwards and forwards, but physics imply time consistently going one direction. They used to have a, I don't think I have it shown here. Yeah, SFM Phys. So they used to have a module that did allow for physics simulations. And it was fairly complex. It added a whole crap load of flexes that were for weight and all that, and it actually worked really, really well. It was how I did the muffin explosion way back. Sorry. Because this was originally created by physics using a wall to drop all the muffins in, and then that was actually all physics simulations within. Though the physics for that was they all were placed within a very tight area, and then I turned the physics on, and they all tried to run away from each other by exploding. But that an update for SFM broke that. Broke SFM Phys, and the creators had by that point said they were no longer supporting it and they weren't going to be updating anymore. So while it existed, it no longer works. So I do know that, like, when you see 7D200 hours, there's probably a good like 700 to 1,000 hours of probably rendering where I'm just letting it sit overnight. I start a render at night, wake up 6-7 hours later, start another render, go to work for 8 hours, come back, and then you're right there. You got 14 hours of just render time. So there's that included in there too. I think that SFM is no longer being supported as it is. I think a lot of what Valve is doing is Valve is either ignoring everybody in hopes that they can get by as long as they can without making anything before everybody realizes that they're not going to make anything, which I really don't see being what they'd be doing. Or they're trying to perfect an engine that they can take as much time as they want on because they have a source of income coming in from another direction. So I think it's more the later, that once Source 2 is fully completed and released, then they can start moving SFM to that. But why support a software that is at this point 13 years old? I think it was 2004. Why keep supporting an old engine and all the software on it? Why not just say, screw it, we're going to focus on the new stuff and then move everything to it once it gets there? So, but we'll see. And yeah, there is Source 2, SFM Source 2, so S2FM, but it is only working for Dota 2, and it doesn't support some of the extra features that SFM originally started or got later, and like material overrides, and I will not touch it until some of those features come in because I rely on it too much. And even then, it's like Source 2, so it's not full. Yeah, there's been no communication from them on anything, but I can kind of understand that, because if they're going to be taking their time to finish things and they want to do it perfectly, they can't give any time frame or any details, because then you're going to get the Duke Nukem syndrome where they're like, we're making this great game, and then it's canceled, and then, oh, it's been delayed, and oh, now we're not going to do it, no, got to do it again. I think that Valve is one to just kind of hold off on telling people things until they know exactly when it's going to be done, and I think it's just too variable right now. Why get people's hopes up? what would be worse than no info about Half-Life 3 would be them saying it's announcing a Half-Life 3 and then nothing to come of it for 3 or 4 years. No, I'd rather just not know at that point because I don't want to be dragged on. So, but yeah, so it is after time though. So I will be back on Friday. I hope to have the Astrio video done Thursday sometime because I have to finish the editing for it tomorrow, or tomorrow, render overnight to have it finished on Thursday, and then I want to have it out Friday night probably. So I might put it out during stream, who knows, we'll see. Depends on how ambitious I am. No, I think they're plenty happy making money on Steam for sure, but the programmers that they have are for games, and if they can't move that entire group over to Dota. That wouldn't work. They have to have people still working on the other stuff, unless they've had a massive layoff. I mean, why have all the people there otherwise? And I'm pretty sure that some of them want to work on games, not their Steam. So yeah, we'll work on this masterpiece on Friday. Hopefully. I don't. If I were to try to say a date as to when I want to have it done, I don't think it would be by next week. And actually, this Friday might have the stream cut a little short because somebody's going to be coming to visit, but not until later. But I don't know. How about this? My birthday is on the 23rd. We'll try to have the Crackle thing done by then. So it's on the 23rd. So by the 22nd. So 2.5 weeks. Alright. Alright. Yeah, whatever. I drive this on long enough. I'm gonna go like have an evening and stuff. You can have a cat. No. Alright. We got time for sleep. Go away. Bye bye.